Hey, what's up, guys? Zander from the movie stand. Just came out of Justice League. We're gonna do a car review because thoughts on top of my head. Okay, first off, this is spoilers, as you know by the title, spoiler talk. Let's start with the end of the movie. Deathstroke and Lex Luthor. I love the DCEU. It's like, it's such an enjoyable universe to me. And I know there's a lot of panned reception of it, and understandably, there's flaws. Everything has flaws, but I happen to have not been disappointed by this universe. There's others that severely share a different opinion than me, but they're welcome to it. I don't agree with it, but it's their opinion. The movie itself, Justice League, they did a good job with the trailers because I was surprised. There were things that I did not expect to happen that happened. Or I did not expect them to happen in a certain way. One of those being Superman. I knew he was going to come back, but how they did it, with him going kind of a dark Superman, kind of a bad guy Superman, that was very interesting, and I was surprised they did that angle. With the negative reception that Superman has in this universe, in terms of fans and critics, to go full-fledged into the dark side of him was surprising. Now, did they do it so they could be like, okay, we're done with that. This is the darkest he'll ever be. He'll never be any darker. Did they do that to do that? Who knows? Maybe they did. Bruce Wayne, I was more connected to him. This Batman, you really, I don't know. There's something about, like, every time you see someone's like private quarters or where they have all their armor or whatever, you just have a connection. Because we didn't just go to the normal Batcave stuff. We went to this like little other room that seemed to have some of his suits in there, but it seemed to be like his thinking room or something. And Bruce's scenes with Diana, oh man, a ship. That coupling, I forgot what it's called in the fandom, but Wonder Bat. There you go. I enjoy Wonder Bat. It's very worthwhile ship. So the big question is, who directed more of this movie, Zack Snyder or Joss Whedon? I want to say Zack Snyder, because like just visually, everything is from Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder knows how to direct a comic book movie. Yeah. If you do not agree with that, he knows how to direct a comic book movie visually. Visually, his shots are stunning. Like I think narratively he does a very good job. I think he understands these characters. There's several people that I know do not agree with me, and that's why the DCEU is such a not agree. It's so decisive in terms of who agrees with it and who disagrees with it. I like it, as I've said, this entire thing. I did think Henry was a kind of a Superman this time around. But I don't know. I think that works. This movie as a whole, I think it flowed nicely. The highlights are Ezra Miller, my Bergen County boy. He was very good as the Flash. It was a different type of Flash, I would say. It was, I don't know, because everyone's going to compare it to Grant Gustin on the Flash TV show, and he can't, because even though they have the same character name, they're kind of different characters. And in the scene where you see Bruce Wayne inside of Flash's apartment space, I believe you have like this K-pop group called Blackpink playing on the monitor. That was interesting. That was not in the trailer. Speaking of not in the trailer, the last trailer, I believe it was trailer 3 of Justice League, when you have the scene with Lois Lane waking up and then going out into the field, and felt like a dream sequence. That was well done in the marketing, because though that scene played out, it did not play out in the same exact way. The scene of her in the bed was actually the beginning of the movie, and everything in the field was in the middle of the movie. That's just like magic editing, guys. Editing happens. Editing does things. Editing is amazing. It's pain, but it's amazing. We got classic cyborg look at the end when he changed his suit. I like in the beginning when you introduce one. I'm jumping all around because my thoughts are like, what? I have no train of thought with this because I'm processing at the same time I'm talking to you, and maybe that's not the best idea for a review, but it's what I'm doing. But when we see the opening scene with Wonder Woman, and you see that she's on the true side of the truth and justice. I just like that. Snyder knows what he's doing. Praise all Zack Snyder. Aquaman, Jason Momoa, on point with this movie. On point. Such a good casting. I cannot wait for his solo movie. I didn't understand where he was with Mara in that whole scene relationship. It felt like they weren't together, but at the same time they may have been. But like it was an assigned marriage. Does that make sense? It didn't feel like they were together. Hope maybe that's gonna change in the Aquaman movie. That's gonna be interesting from James Wan. The guy did the Conjuring movies. Those are terrifying. But he also did what, Fast 6 or Fast 7? That was an enjoyable movie. No, he did whichever one he did. It was enjoyable. They're popcorn movies, but they're enjoyable. If you are skeptical about the DCEU, I would jump into this movie, into Justice League, and start from there. And if you like it, check out the other stuff. If you don't like it, check it out anyways, because maybe you will like the past stuff. I don't know what was reshoots and what was not reshoots from Joss Whedon. Apparently he only added one scene or something. I can't even tell what scene that is. Like, the entire movie flows. It feels more... You can't even say DC Avengers movie. It's just... I think it's probably the best DCEU movie. I think, despite its its tomato meter score, which is not what you should be judging Rotten Tomatoes by, it should be the average score, but based by its tomato meter score, which everyone's going to go by, it's not a quote-unquote good movie, but it's an enjoyable movie. It's a comic book movie. It's visually like a comic book movie. You've like... Oh man. Just go watch it. Go watch this movie. And I say that about every single movie I watch, because usually the ones I'm going to watch, I'm excited about. And who knows, they might turn out to be crap. But this movie, Justice League, was enjoyable, and I recommend watching it, because... I recommend watching it. Lighting. I recommend watching it, as I've said 5 times now, because if you want to jump into the DCU at this point, this is probably a good starting point, and then watch the others as backlog. Some would say start Man of Steel. I say start with Justice League, and then go back, because this is probably going to be the most generally received in terms of a positive tone, because it combines like the elements that the people who like the other movies enjoyed, and it brings in a lot more of the lighter tones that people who didn't like the other movies wanted. And I think it's a good mesh, and I just want more Zack Snyder from this universe, and everyone just seems not to want him. I think that's a mistake. I think Zack Snyder works very well. I think he might... I'm not even going to say he probably needs another director with him, because I like what he does, but he's probably going to need another director with him because of the critical reception. Because the DCEU needs good critical reception. And it doesn't need Marvel 90s. It needs higher than... And it can't be rotten, because when everyone looks at Rotten Tomatoes scores, they just assume that's fact. It's fact. It can't be like that. You have Man of Steel being a rated fresh, and you have Wonder Woman rated fresh. You need your other DCU movies to be rated fresh. But I didn't care for Wonder Woman as much as I care for the other one. So it's finding a balance. And that's the tricky part. I think that's what DC is doing right now. It's finding a balance. I think Justice League is a great step in the right direction to find a good balance. It gave me enough of what I have liked from the others, and I think it gave people who were lacking some of the stuff, it gave them more of an enjoyable experience. So, Zander for the movie stand. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. That's what I give for everything. Because you can't give anything a 5 out of 5 because nothing's perfect. I wasn't a 4.5, and I go 5 point scales with half things. It's a 4 out of 5. Go watch this movie. Zander for the movie stand. Like us on Facebook. Like us on everything. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, like this video, share this video, please. It's me rambling, but thank you very much for watching. I really like this movie. We got the Superman Flash race, as I did not mention earlier. You're like, why didn't you mention it? I mentioned it now, guys. We got Superman Flash race. It's kind of like the whole in the Arrowverse with the Arrow and Flash races and everything, with the arrows and the flashes and all that. But go watch this movie. 4 out of 5. Zander from the Movie Stand. Share this everywhere. Thank you guys for watching.